Greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Welcome to Region Resplendence, a program of the American Baptist Churches of Greater Indianapolis. I am Michael Friday, Executive Minister of the region, your host for today. The American Baptist Churches of Greater Indianapolis is one of the 33 regions of the American Baptist Churches USA and Puerto Rico, comprised of approximately 15,000 members in 38 congregations in the city and suburbs of Indianapolis, Indiana. Of those 38 congregations, 14 are of European ancestry, 8 are Burmese immigrants and former refugees, 7 are descendants of enslaved Africans, 4 are of Central and South American immigrants, and 4 more are blended or becoming blended, and 1 is comprised of former refugees of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Burundi, and Rwanda. And I, of Caribbean origins, have the honor and joy to serve this region. We call this program Region Resplendence because we are a tapestry of God's diverse peoples, teeming with God's beauty, resplendent in God's color and brilliance, and set forth in America to shine for the glory of God. There are many stories in our region because of the many peoples that are here, and each one reflects the light and glory of God. It is my extreme delight today to welcome to the camera for this episode, the 4th episode, my friend and one of the most awesome pastors in this region. I am referring to none other than the Reverend Dr. Stephen Keough, pastor of the Indiana Chin Baptist Church, a congregation he planted 23 years ago here in Indianapolis and which has grown rapidly. Dr. Keough, welcome. I'm honored and blessed to have you. I call him my father sometimes, and I call him my elder brother sometimes. But he is a wonderful pastor. Thank you for joining us today. So, we wanted I've longed to have, just like Paul longed to come to the Romans and all that, I have longed to have this conversation with you. Tell us a little bit about how you, from the nation that some call Burma, some call Myanmar, tell us about your journey here. What brought you to this country?
Well, it's a long story, but to make it short, I was born in Burma, brought up in a Christian family. I started working in the Bible school in Chin State in Burma. And then I became a pastor of one of the churches. And I worked there as 10 years. And then the association wanted me to translate the Bible. And then I translated the Bible, the whole Bible. It took me 12 years. And then United Bible Societies, it's a worldwide organization. Translation consultant came to Burma and checked my translation. And finally they said, Stephen, would you like to join us as translation consultant? And I said, no.
I thought you said yes at first.
I said no, because I felt that I could not do it. And they said, well, they said they will send me to the United States for further training. And then you got your PhD and then you become translation consultant. I said, okay, I can do it.
All right.
And so we came with my wife and 4 children here in the United States in 1979. I went to Emory University in Atlanta. It took me 5, almost 6 years to do my PhD in biblical studies. And then that's how we came to America. And then my wife was appointed as a teacher in high school, math teachers. So through her, we got our green card. And then I worked as translation consultant in Micronesia, Guam, for 22 years.
You traveled back and forth, or you did it from here?
No, we stayed in Guam. I was in charge of Micronesia, Thailand, and Burma. I traveled a lot.
Right.
And then after we retired, we came to Atlanta to retire. But the church here in Indianapolis said, please come and help us. Okay, so 2008, my wife and I came here for 2 years, we thought. But now it has been almost 20 years now.
Yes.
It's amazing. That's how we came to the United States.
Wonderful. You know, so we have these biblical stories that tend to repeat themselves. I remember a certain country went down in exile in another country, and a certain prophet said, you'll be there for 2 years, and another one said, nah, it's going to be 70 years. I thank you for that summary of your journey. So you're quite fluent in English. But it's only one of many languages that you master. How many languages do you master?
Well, I can handle English, and I can do Burmese, which is the national language in Burma, and I can do my mother tongue, which is Hakka, and I can also do Falam, which is my wife's mother tongue. It is in Falam language that I translated. And so at least I can handle 4 languages, and I can understand other 2-3 languages. But in all, I work in the Bible translation work for 28 years as translator and as consultant. And I have helped translation in 28 languages.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's God's gift.
But it also sounds like we have a walking version of Acts chapter 2 here, in the office today. What a wonderful story,
Yes,
Dr. Keel. Tell us about any really interesting experience you had during your 28 years, you said, as a Bible translator. Yeah.
There are lots of challenges in translation. One of them is to find an equivalent word in Greek and in English into my language. There is no such thing as exact 100% equivalence. It's very difficult to find what is the most equivalent. And my main struggle is to find the right word, the correct word, the equivalent word. And I might say, God helped me to find, surprisingly, I would think over 99%, I'm happy with it. And so we are making some slight revisions now after 30 years.
Yes.
But still, the first draft, that was in 1991, I think. It's still good, I think.
Yeah, language. So language really is dynamic. Yeah,
Yeah, dynamic. Sometimes it changes.
And that itself creates one of the lifelong struggles for theologians.
Yes.
About the inerrancy or errancy or reliability of translations and all of that. Yeah.
And Falam language is a very young language, limited vocabulary.
Yes.
So sometimes I created some words, new words, and they would say, "What does this mean?"
Interesting.
But I translate and I explain the meaning. We have no word. We have to borrow from English, from Burmese, from Mizo, and let us borrow many, if possible, if necessary.
Yeah.
We borrowed many.
Walter Brueggemann, whom you must have encountered. Did you ever meet him in person?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you did. He wrote the prophetic imagination. I suppose an extension of the prophetic imagination is to create words where there are no words.
Yeah, exactly.
What a thing. Yeah, prophetic imagination.
In a sense, very exciting.
Yes, indeed. So earlier you mentioned that you retired from Bible translation work. And you thought you were done, and you were still living where in the South Pacific at the time, or you were back in Atlanta?
Well, while we were living in Guam, the United Bible Societies gave us permission to visit my children in Atlanta once every year.
Okay.
So my wife and I came every year, spend one month with my children.
Right.
But very often, this church that began in 2004 is a very young, small church, maybe 150, 200. We spent 2-3 weeks with them since 2004,
Right.
2005, 2006. And so this church is very, very friendly church.
Yes.
And these members are refugees who came through Guam.
Oh.
Yes, we help them in Guam. We know them. We train them. And they came here as many faces are very familiar, you know.
Yes.
These are children.
Indeed.
So when we came to Atlanta, and the leaders came to Atlanta and said, "Please come help us." Just for 2 years.
you answered the question I was leading into, because I wanted to know how is it you were about to retire, and what is it that led you to sense that the Lord was calling you out of retirement to come here. Now, correct me. Was I correct in the lead-in when I suggested that you planted the church in 2002? 2004. Okay. Tell me a little bit about that, because it sounds like it was here already, but you were still in Guam, traveling back and forth.
When we were in Guam, we visited our children, and here is a group of Christians
already here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, already here, and they are trying to form a church, a fellowship, we call it, and then. Because I know them and we help them in Guam, we came here and see what can we do for these people. And then we decided, well, why don't we form a fellowship so that we can pray together, sing together, worship God. And then we did, 2004. I think about 70 of us started it.
And that 70 has now grown into...
Now 3,400.
And by American standards or international standards, that's a mega church. And you are the largest Chin Baptist congregation in the United States. Is it in the world, or is it only in the United States?
It's God's doing everything.
Yes, indeed.
It's God's doing.
Indeed. So I read something. It might have been in the anniversary magazine of one of the other Chin congregations here in Indianapolis, and I read where you wrote, and I'm not quoting you, but you suggested that every Chin Baptist person in America should be American Baptist. What moved you to make such a bold comment? I agree, by the way.
Well, personally, I felt very strongly that the Baptists who migrated from Burma to here should join American Baptists. The reason? We are missionaries' fruits, missionaries' descendants, missionaries' great children.
And legacy.
And there came missionaries from America, Carson and Arthur Carson and Laura Carson. They came to Chin State, arriving there in 1918, I think. And so, I'm wrong, maybe 1899, I think. Precisely, I'm not sure.
I should know that myself, yes.
And Reverend Arthur Carson died in Chin State. He was buried in Chin State, in 𝐥𝗲𝗴𝗶. Reverend Coop, also another missionary, came after 4 or 5 years. He also passed away. He was buried in 𝗥𝗲𝗴. And it was these missionaries who sacrificed their lives. And they introduced the writing system for us.
Oh my.
They started the church. They started schools. They started hospitals. And that's how the Chin Christians grew.
Mm-hmm.
And now Chin State may be 500,000 population.
Mm.
Majority, almost all of them are Christians. I would think Chin State a Christian state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we came to here, I think it's obligatory that we go to a church which sent missionaries to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a moral obligation even, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And spiritually, we are close to each other. Mm-hmm. So why not?
Mm-hmm.
What are other reasons not to join them? Not much.
Let me remind the viewers that back in Bible days, this man would be recognized as a prophet and a sage. to whose words we should pay close attention, whether we were Israel or not, whether we're Chin or not. I appreciate those, and I think, seriously speaking, we remember Paul's letter to Timothy and his charge to Timothy to pass on to faithful men that which he received from Paul and from his mother Lois and mother Eunice, etc. And I think that's perhaps to talk a little bit about as an immigrant. Talk a little bit about what you see in American Christianity today that seems to suggest there's disconnection from our heritage, whether it's a cultural heritage from Burma, from the Caribbean, or from the Bible. What troubles you as you look at Christianity in our country today?
Very good question. That's what has been in my mind for years. We came from Burma. Burma is a Buddhist country. 90% are Buddhists. And Christians are very small minority. In many ways, we are persecuted. Not physically, but for example, the government in Burma would not allow to print the Bible. And that may not sound persecution, but for me, why not? Just because we are Christians, just because we are minority, we should not be kind of discriminated, right? Number two, when we are applied for church building to the government, this plot of land we need for church building, the government in Burma would not say, okay, go ahead and build. Never. But they will build Buddhist pagodas everywhere they want to.
Yeah. If there were a First Amendment there, that would be a violation of the First Amendment.
Exactly. So when we came to America, we came with that kind of, shall we say, bag of grudges against the government. Why should they persecute us, discriminate us? All right. Anyway, we left Burma because it's not a good place to stay. I came to Burma. I decided to stay in Burma because this is a better...
In America?
In America. I stayed in America. I decided to stay in America because I think that's a better place to stay and live and work. When the refugees came through Guam, thousands of them, and they formed small churches here in America, we were looking for help from the Christians, the American Christians, the Baptists, who have sent missionaries to us. They are our fathers. They are our mothers. We came to their place expecting understanding, expecting some help. expecting guidance, we receive nothing. That's my, shall we say, complaint. Here are people, let's say refugees, fleeing Burma, arriving in America, where our parents are here.
Yeah.
We come with expectation that, well, we go to America where our parents are. And they are not helping us. And so that is my kind of, shall we say, what the American Christians should have done to these refugees, because we are your descendants. Why not you help us?
Yeah. Now, am I hearing a distinction? Was the complaint against the American Baptists, or was it other Baptists in America, or both?
Any Christians. The Christians they are helping are Catholics, Lutherans. They are not Baptists.
Yeah.
What happened to the Baptists? You know.
So
I would say American Baptists should be more welcoming us. Among them, we decided to stay with them, and they should be more welcoming us with open arms. I'm not saying give us some money and help and food. We don't need that. What we need is guidance. Okay, welcome to America. This is your place. This is where you will stay. We will be together. Let us worship together, help each other whatever we can. That never came. And so in the coming days, my wish is that American Baptists, whether they are European, Caucasian, or they are Africans, whether they are Asians, we are Baptists. We are Christians. We are one in Christ.
Right.
And that's why if there is difficulty, let us share the difficulty. If there is joy, let us share that joy. And if there is vision, let us share that vision also. If there are challenges, let us...
So there's still a lot of work, and from your vantage point, there's still a lot of work to coordinate and to connect between all the different peoples, along with Burmese Chin, with American Baptists.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. In other words, if there's any American Baptists out there starting with an executive minister, or perhaps even up the ladder to Valley Forge, etc., who thinks that we're getting an A, we're not getting, based on what your vision, we're not at an A just yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So lots of that sounds like a lot of work for us to do, and I look forward to it. Thank you for your candor in that area. We have much to do. Thank you. And you've outlined there some of your biggest challenges and perhaps some of your biggest disappointments in America. Let me press you a little more. If you were to become a little more concrete about what you just, my word, complained about or observed as shortcomings, if you were to pinpoint some concrete things we could do, what would you say?
Recently, there are some Christians coming from Afghanistan. And they are here kind of strangers. We, refugees from Burma, Asian Christians, we have been here. All right, what we need to do is, okay, this is America. We came from Asia. You came from Afghanistan. Let us help you in the way we can. What are your most need? Is it accommodation? Is it health? Is it culture, language? let us try to work out to solve your problems. That attitude, even if we are not actually providing anything, that attitude, welcoming attitude, open arms welcoming attitude is very important for refugees.
Right, good. I have been in touch with one of your pastoral colleagues, Brother Daniel Ping Leng. Probably and with Justin Thang, and we've been talking about gathering, at least starting with the Chin churches, because you're the largest. But we're it's not that the Kachin and the Karen aren't on our minds, but I have been working behind the scenes to try to gather the pastoral leaders to begin with, from Indiana Chin Baptist, from Chin Evangelical, and from Bethel Chin. To talk a little bit about precisely what you're raising. So I'm happy to hear that we're on the same wavelength, and we will continue that conversation to God's glory. Thank you. Tell a little bit about your family. You recently lost your beloved Clem. How are you coping?
Well, Michael, to lose a wife is very, very devastating, to say the least. I never thought that a man could be that lonely in this world, a Christian. But I've been feeling lonely because, when I go to my bedroom, the space where my wife has been there is empty. I went to the kitchen to eat. The seat there is empty. Let me go out. Okay, I drive the car. Her seat in the car is empty. Let me travel. Okay. Even in the airplane, where is my wife? So everywhere I turn, she is missing. And that is very difficult to handle. I believe that my wife is with the Lord. Sure, she loved the Lord very much. She did. But she is with the Lord. I'm lonely here. That reality, nothing can change it. But it has been now 4 months. I can preach only one sermon, 4 months. Now, with prayer and with Bible reading and with communication with other believers and coming to church, the healing process is very slow, very painful and very slow. But the healing is taking place. I can sense that. The fact that I can talk today for an interview would not have been possible 2 months ago. Now it's possible.
Yes.
Which means I'm getting healed. And the fact that we talk together is almost normal. It shows that I'm on the way to recovery.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving me the chance. Thank you.
Thank you. I did think twice about including that question in our interview, and I did give him the freedom to cross that one out if he wanted to. I often say to people that there would be probably one complaint I might have for the Lord when I stand before the Lord. Why is it you didn't give us the capacity to literally bear other people's pain? We talk about empathy and sympathy, and my heart is with you, but why didn't we get the capacity to literally yank some of your pain out of you? And I guess that's part of the faith journey, because if we could have an answer for everything, we wouldn't need faith. Thank you for being so vulnerable and so transparent. I appreciate it. So we've had a new administration in America for the past, this is the 10th month, or almost. What kinds of challenges has that reality thrown up for people within your congregation or people connected to your congregation?
Thank you for that question. My congregation as a whole, like Donald Trump, I think they voted for him too. My complaint would be, if I'm the advisor to Donald Trump, this is what I would say.
I wish he would. I wish he was.
This is I would say. Donald Trump is a Christian. I believe he is a Christian. How deep, I don't know. How strong, I don't know. But I think he is a Christian. But as a Christian, I don't think he should criticize anybody who is against him. For example, the senator from Massachusetts, the lady senator, he called her
Pocahontas?
lunatic.
Okay.
100% lunatic. My goodness, is that a Christian word? No, that's my feeling. He should refrain from doing that kind of thing. Why? Because he's not a lunatic. He's a senator from a state, very important state. And Donald Trump is bound to work with her for the good of the country. He wouldn't be able to do much by criticizing that severely. If he is to do good for the country, he needs her to help him. So it's not a good strategy. It's not a good Christian attitude to do that. And he has done it to so many people.
Yeah.
I said, please, stop that.
You're touching on the not just an ideal, but the desire that a leader be a connector, regardless of whether they're Christian or not, regardless of whether they're Republican or Democrat. You're touching on the expectation that a leader be an icon of decency, an icon of collaboration, etc., etc.
And he's a Christian too.
There are those who would disagree with you. I might be one of them. But
and then the president is not a Republican president. He's an American
president.
He's a United States president. And so he should be nice to, as far as possible, nice to especially the leaders of the country.
And by extension, an American president who is often touted as the leader of the free world.
Exactly.
People who are back home in your country used to be able to look to an American president and an America led by a real American, a real American president. The American president was the hope, not the hope of the world like Jesus, but the hope of the world. And that's the heart of my question. So now, especially since, as you believe, most of your congregation would have voted for Trump. Now that we have Trump in the way we have him, and we know that the backlash has been hard on people of your country who are now refugees elsewhere, who had plane tickets, had sold, they were waiting to board the flight, and now they're stranded. What response from a congregation like yours? Like that?
For example, there are refugees, I would think, fleeing Burma, coming to Malaysia, probably 50,000 to 60,000.
Oh my goodness.
And they have hope for years that one day they might try to America. With Donald Trump's policy, that hope is crushed. I only hope that he would change his mind At the moment, what we are doing as a congregation here is that we have seen the children of the refugees in Malaysia, Chin refugees, by the thousands. Their children have nowhere to go. The government in Malaysia does not allow them to go to their schools.
Wow.
Now, where do they go for
nobody.
school? Nobody. So what the refugees are doing is that they created classes from AB kindergarten, elementary, high school level. Many of them are ready for college. So in that effort, our church is helping them. We send them teachers. We send them
from Indiana,
from here. We send them teachers to Malaysia to train them, their teachers. We have good teachers here in high school. During vacation, we send them to Malaysia. They are giving them training to those who are teaching them. And so we are buying a building in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, for their classes. And so we are doing, I think, the best thing for their children is to teach them in school, primary, elementary, middle school, and then high school.
Excellent.
After that, we don't know yet. And there are people who are talking about something like Malaysia government might be willing to receive them in college and be graduate. We're hoping.
That would be a big leap from not giving them elementary and secondary, but now being willing to give them tertiary education.
So it's a struggle. They are struggling. We are helping them.
Yeah. For those of you looking on, this is one of the reasons why we talk about United Mission in ABC context. Yes. I'm not telling tales out of school, but Indiana Chin is one of the strongest financial supporters of ABCGI. And as your executive minister, I've often been concerned that I've known of some of the work that they do, and I've been concerned that our region should be aware of some of the work that a congregation like this does, and that we should be supporting in greater numbers than we are, both numbers in terms of the congregations who contribute, and some congregations in terms of the numbers they contribute. This is the heart of United Mission, and there's more that we could do. That is one of the things I think we could do. So be in prayer about this. Thank you for that work that you do.
Our church, I think our church is one of the largest contributors for the ABCGI and ABCGI.
Yes.
Yeah. And we do that because United Mission is our mission too. ABC mission, ABCGI mission, our church mission too. So why not participate as much as we can with United Missions?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. I have an interesting question for you. I'm an immigrant. Before I left the Caribbean, and I told one of my older mentors that we were thinking about leaving the Caribbean. Our children were teenagers at the time. And he asked me in his Jamaican drawl, Michael, what identity you want for your children? And I knew exactly what he was asking. He was, as people from the global South, especially Christian people, view America. Christian people view it as a challenge. They see Americanization of their children as a challenge to the Christianization of their children. I know that is one of the concerns of Burmese Christians and Burmese Christian leaders, pastors like yourself. Talk a little bit about that challenge, that on the one hand, your children, grandchildren, and the descendants of all your members here will be Americans.
Yes.
They can't escape Americanization,
Exactly.
but they're Christians. Talk
Yes.
a little bit about how those two things clash. Christ in culture, Christ, that idea.
Yes. It's a very big challenge. It's a very big challenge. One of the things is language. Now we came here, we don't know English, because I learned English from kindergarten in Burma, British English.
That's why it's so good.
All the way to college and to Sarampur College for theological studies, all English. I'm used to English. When I prepare sermon, very often I prepare in English. So English is not my problem. But those who came refugees from Burma, thousands of them, language is the most difficult part. Without knowing the language, they become dumb. They feel dumb. Very painful. But slowly, especially the children, adapted it so well.
Yeah.
They learn English so fast, so well. Our children are doing great in school, primary, middle, high school, even in college. They are getting scholarship. They are presidential award. My goodness, this is a miracle to me. But our children are Americanized, culturized. The parents are left behind. And so there is a tug of war in the family.
What are some of the icons of this Americanization that creates this rift in the family?
Oh, well, the children would say our parents are stupid. We are Americans. Our parents are, because they don't know the language, they are stupid. They don't know anything.
Oh my.
That's a very, very sharp, very painful for the parents also. So what we try to do in our church, is that, all right, young people, you live in America, you learn the language. You grow up in academic world. Don't copy everything Americans. Don't copy, because many are not good. Living together is not good. Abortion is not good. And then not to go to church on Sunday is not good. I read in the paper that 85% of American young people do not go to church. And we told our young people, this may be American culture, but don't copy it. We don't need that. You can be Americanized and yet respectful of your parents. They may not understand English. They are your parents. The Bible tells us, honor your father and your mother. We should not neglect that. The young people should make sure you go to church with your parents together. Respect your mother, respect your father. Because of them, you are alive. So that is instruction we give them every Sunday.
And yet the hopeful thing is that compared to the average white American, African American, and other kinds of not so much indigenous but born Americans, when I go to the Burmese churches, whether it's the Chin or the Karen or the Kachin or the Kareni, etc., I see a vast array of a generational spread that I don't see in the white or the many African American congregations, and it's that paradox where what you're talking about happens in the home society, but there is still the big window of opportunity in the congregations where, and those of you watching on who've never worshipped in a Burmese congregation, you should know that it's not a 1 hour deal. And then number two, that it's not only the sermon that is instruction, but in most of these congregations, there's a full Bible study plus a sermon, and they still sing hymns and contemporary songs and so on. I try to tell people that, and I can resonate with the sense of inadequacy that you talked about for not knowing the language. Because when I worship in your congregation or the average Burmese congregation, I tell people I worship with my eyes because I don't know the language. In your congregation, I get headphones with the translation of at least the sermon. But for the most part, I worship with my eyes, which is a very interesting spiritual thing. Because at one and the same time, it makes me know the pain of your people trying to function in a culture fully English, but at the same time, it draws upon some other spiritual senses that don't include. You know, Paul talks about he'd rather worship with 10,000 words of prophecy, rather than one word in tongues. It's kind of like the same thing. I think I want to encourage Americans to do a little bit of cross-cultural visits in Burmese churches to feel that pain, but to also understand your challenge. What a thing! So one more question on that theme.
Okay.
What would you like? What would you like your children, grandchildren, and those of your congregation to what American things would you like them to gain or not, or what would you want them not to lose that they brought from their country or can take from their ancestors?
In Asian culture, family is vital, so vital. In America, when you are 18, you go your own way. We don't do that. My children, they stay with the parents, even when they are 30, 40. They're married, they are with us. We don't say, all right, you take your own family. We don't do that. But the separation of parents and children as early as 18, for us, that is not applicable. We stay together even if we are 30. If the children are married and if the parents think that they should be buying a house, their own house, let them stand on their own feet, that's not the question. It's arrangement done with agreement of the children and parents.
Yeah.
It's a smooth transition. And the reason why I could not find out, what are the reasons when I go to American churches, I don't see much young people. And said, why don't they have children? They do, but they are not coming to church. They are all, shall I say, not all people, but they are all adults.
So long before it is a spiritual problem, which is where many people try to begin when they want to address that problem, it's a cultural problem. And you talk about the Asian culture. There really is a thing of Asian culture and Asian leadership as well, compared to Western culture and Western leadership.
To bring the parents and the children together, growing up together, and a smooth transition is a better way, whether it's American or Asian, whoever it is. I think it's a better way to say, to create families.
Yeah.
Let there be a smooth transition, nice transition, and I think that will work for us.
Indeed. We usually take a break during these conversations, but we're almost to the end of our time without a break because it has been so engaging and enthralling. So we've been heartbroken about what's been happening back in your homeland. What needs to change there, or here in America, or in the United Nations for something called normality to return to Burma?
It's a sad story about the country of Burma. The military took power from democratic elected leaders in 1962. And since then, that's about
63 years.
60 years, the military has been in control. So Burma has been, they used to call it the richest country in Southeast Asia. Now it's the poorest. So the richest country has become the poorest. Why? Because of the general's dictatorship. No freedom. No free enterprise is allowed. What the government says, you do it. And so what should happen? At the moment, Russia and China are supporting Burma. Both militarily, financially, politically.
Supporting the regime, not Burma, but the regime.
The regime, exactly. Yeah. And now, within Burma, there are resistance groups. I think almost 300 resistance groups throughout Burma.
All fighting against each other, or not all as one block of 300 groups resisting the military, but inter-Nicene wars.
In various states, in various towns, there are all these resistance groups. And the military is planning to hold election this December. I'm wondering whether they will be able to do it, because half of the country is in the hands of the resistance group. Will they go ahead and have election with the half of the country? I have no idea. At this juncture, what the United States could do and should do is two things. Number one, if the election is held in December with half of the population, it will be illegitimate election.
That's true.
And the United States government should declare it, that they are not going to support it. Very important. What America says, people listen.
Or it used to be more so than now, but
That is what the U.S. government should do. Number two, Burma is being bombed with jets by the military everywhere, even in Chin State.
Bombs that come from China
and Russia. And the jet fuel is very scarce in Burma. If the United States government can try to cut off jet fuel to Burma.
It comes from where? From Russia?
China.
China. The jet fuel comes from China.
Or even Russia.
Maybe Russia by way of China.
Yeah. So if U.S. government can cut that off, I think it can if it wants to. Jet fuel. Burma military will not have jet fuel. And bombing will stop. Number three, the U.S. government should support the opposition party now. They call it a different government, NUG, United National Unity Government, and United States government should support that NUG. It's the alternative to military government. And number 5, support the Christians. Fully support Christians because they are the most people who are suffering in Burma.
What about what's going on with the Rohingya Muslims?
Rohingya.
Where does who persecutes them?
The military persecuted them. Military. They killed them by the thousands in 2017.
Yeah.
And the International Court of Justice is I think, calling the military genocide criminal. It's in the process now. And so it's a black mark for the government in Burma.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. If I'm sitting here as an immigrant who is an American, I'm thinking about if America really held true to its First Amendment. You know, during the George Bush 43, during the George Bush era, we learned, we came to hear about exporting democracy and all that, which you can't really do. But if we held firmly to our First Amendment and really saw that as a guiding principle, as a definition of America, and then America in all of its engagements worldwide would at least expound and pursue the values of that First Amendment. It falls in line with with the fifth suggestion you have of the government supporting. I would extend the support for the Christians to also to religious freedom, to supporting the right of religious people to hold their faith as they wish, and also to thereby protect them from persecution just because of what they believe. Wow, it's such a mess in that part of the world, and now in my part of the world, you know, that Trinidad lies just 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela, and we're watching with bated breath what's happening down there. So Stephen Keogh, just before we end this conversation, we have 4 minutes to the hour. What else would you like your viewers to know? Just look into that camera and tell them something about yourself, or give them a word of advice. I called you a sage and a prophet earlier on.
Thank you.
What would you say about yourself? What else you'd like your audience to know?
Friends in Christ, Baptists, or even if you are not Baptist, we belong to the same Lord. Jesus Christ is our Lord. And because we are His servants, because we are His friends, we are connected to each other. We are in the same household of God. And let us pray for each other. Let us bear each other's burdens. Let us be more connected than ever before. Indianapolis is a place where about 30 Chin Christians are living here. We have about 80 pastors, 60 churches, and if we get together, and if we decide to do something, we could be quite effective. Yeah. And so let us be connected. Let us be friends. Let us be members of the same family. Let us know each other. Let us pray for each other. Above all, let us pray for the government of the United States. Very important. And God bless you all. Thank you for listening. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Keogh, for this honor and for this joy of sharing this hour with you.
So much.
I'm blessed, and I'm sure that the audience is blessed. Thank you so much. And be watching us for the next edition of Region Resplendence. It was my joy to talk with Dr. Stephen Keogh, pastor of the Indiana Chin Baptist congregation here in Indianapolis. See you next time. Bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you.